Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am sorry if I'm a little bit quieter this time, but I'm not trying to be. So, if I recall, last time I had said I was going to stop at chapter 5. And I did stop at chapter 5, I stopped reading then. Now I'm on chapter 5 on my dad's laptop, old laptop. So, I will read to you guys the next chapters. Mind you, that I believe chapter 6 here, or in this, in this episode of reading books from my Wattpad, there is going to be a sexual scene, and viewer discretion is advised in this. If you do not want to hear this, then please click away from the video when I do happen to start talking about it. I will give a little note as to when it pops up, or what chapter it's in, and when I am going to start saying these inappropriate things. But continuing on, chapter 5, Augustine's point of view. I can't believe he obeyed me, but I'm glad he did. Now look at me, Maxie. I thought of calling him Maxie when I first heard his name. He looked at me, his eyes locked on mine. You're not straight. Listen, dear. I know you say you're straight, and you believe that you are, but I know you're not. I said, but Augustine, I just don't know what sexuality I am. I like guys and girls, and whatever you want to call yourself. What is that called? Yes, you're pansexual, I stated. Now nodded and nuzzled my leg. Climb on my back and I'll take you home, okay, Katie? Max, laying down so he can climb on my back. He climbed on my back with a gentle purr. I stood up and carried him back to his house. When I got there, I got him off my back by picking up by his neck, and I placed him on the ground. I turned to my human form and picked him back up. I opened the door and walked in. I carried him to his room and laid him down in his bed. I gently kissed his head and smiled softly. Good night, dear, sweet dreams, whispered in his ear. His tail wagged a bit. I left his house and I saw a girl looking at me with a smile. So you're Augustine? She asked. I nodded. How do you know my name? I asked. Zara told me about you. Thanks for saving his life, she said. What's your name? I asked. Leilani, but you can call me Lei. And don't worry, I'm not into boys like that, she stated. Oh, okay. Then, so can I ask you something? She asked. Yeah. Will you protect him? See, he's a prince, and me and him have known each other since we were babies. Our original home was destroyed by Santos, and we, as far as we know, we're the only ones that survived. She said, I will protect him with my life. I said, good. I gotta go to my girlfriend right now. Bye. She said, waving bye and walking off. I felt someone hug me from behind. Nazar, is that you? I said, smiling softly. Yes, Nazar said, smiling. Did you have a good rest? I asked. No, I had a bad dream, he said softly. Chapter 6. Zara's point of view, 2 months later. Every day now, Augustine checks up on me to make sure I'm okay. Honestly, I don't know why he wants to. He doesn't have to. I laid on my couch reading a book when I heard a knock on my door. Come in, I said, and Augustine walked in. He smiled at me and sat beside me. I smiled back at him. How are you feeling today? He asked. I'm feeling good. I was enjoying my loneliness until you came, I said with a giggle. Not that bad, he said, pouting. Sure you're not, I said with a sarcastic tone. He knew I was messing with him, so he didn't let it bother him. Wanna go and do something? He asked. Like what exactly? I asked. I don't know, anything. It's a beautiful day, so why not go for a walk or something? I said, alright. I got up, I got a pair of shoes, and I put on a pair of shoes and looked over at him. Ready? He asked. I nodded in response. We decided to walk around town. It was very enjoyable. Later on, we went to his cave and cuddled for a bit. It started to turn night, and I wanted to leave, but at the same time I didn't. I had this urge to stay with him and do something. I sighed softly and licked his cheek. He looked over at me with a smile. Why did you lick my cheek? He asked. I don't know, but I have this urge to do something with you since we're alone. Humbled shyly. He smirked a bit and pulled me onto his lap. I blushed darkly and he pecked my neck. If you want me that badly, you could have just told me. I don't want you like that, I said, blushing. Yes, you do. I can see in your eyes, he said. Originally, I wanted to do a little thing like where you chose, like what to do. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Alright, so chapter 7 is a sexual scene. I would let you all know this before I continue reading, that this is sexual, and this is a warning for all you guys. I will continue reading, and if YouTube decides to be an asshole to me and say that I should, take down this video, that this video is demonetized, I'll be like, I don't even get paid for this, so I'm just doing this for no reason. Let's just continue on. Augustine's point of view. I kissed Nazar's neck again, and he blushed, making a very small noise. I chuckled softly and pinned him down onto his stomach. He looked up at me, his ears and tail out when he did. I grinned slightly against him. Augustine, what are you doing? He asked shyly. Well, I can't hold it in anymore. I want you, I said softly. He blushed more and moved a bit. He squeaked when he felt something poking him. See, I wasn't lying. I want you, Nazar. I kissed his neck again. He moaned softly, and I pushed down on him. He whined a bit, probably because he didn't like the position we were in. Can we at least get undressed if we're going to be in this position? He asked. Yes, darling, we can. I said, climbing off of him. I got undressed, which he did too, but slowly. I think it's because he was shy about his body. You don't have to be nervous, baby, I said, kissing his head. You're the first guy I ever had sex with. And look at you, you're so sexy, I said, blushing and smiled at him. My baby, I think you're beautiful, I said, kissing his cheek. He finished getting undressed and I picked him up. Since this is your first time doing it with the guy, I'll be gentle, I said, pinning him against the wall, his back facing me. He turned his head and looked at me. Thank you for being gentle, but please don't come at me, he said. I will try not to, I said. Alright, he said. I gently pushed into him, which made him whimper. When I was all the way in, he closed his eyes. Tell me when to move, okay, baby boy? This feels so weird for me to read it as a female, but I'm like, I'm just going to keep reading it. I asked and he nodded in response. After a bit, he nodded to me. I slowly thrust it in and out of him, hearing his beautiful moans as I did. Now, soon is going to say a specific D word that I know YouTube don't like. So I'm going to say the word chicken for that word, and you guys should automatically know what that word is. So, I'm going to continue on reading now. But Augustine, faster please, Zara said. I went faster and her nibbling on his neck. Damn, he felt so good, to be honest. You're so tight, babe, I said, kissing his cheek. He Even though it sounds so weird when I say this. You're squeezing my chicken with every twist. That sounds so funny. Why did it sound so funny? I said, grunting. Zara blushed and moaned loudly. I started going harder on him. I moaned loudly myself as I thrust into him. I'm close, and I'm going to say this D word. Daddy. There we go. He said, me too. I said, thrusting into him more. He screamed loudly as he came, and I did the same. Fuck, I forgot that. He said not to come inside him. He panted just like I did, and I pulled out of him and turned into a wolf laying beside him. He turned into a cat and curled up against me. He fell asleep instantly. Wait, did he not want me to come inside him because he can get pregnant? If that's the case, then looks like I'm going to be a dad sooner than I thought. I fell asleep shortly after that, thinking about the family we'll have. Right, Chapter 8, Nazar's Point of View, a month later. I've been feeling sick lately, so I went to the doctor to ask him about it. I knew that Augustine came to me, but I wasn't in heat or anything, so I shouldn't have gotten pregnant. Let's see what the doctor has to... What happened here? There's blood all over the place, and the building is on fire. Everyone get out, demons! The village is under attack! I heard a guard say. Like everyone else who was alive, I ran. I met up with Leilani near the gate. They're here for me, I know that, I said. I know, but I'm not letting them take you away. I already killed my girlfriend, she said. I hugged her, then we both ran meeting up with Augustine. We then explained what happened to him, and 2 Santos came up behind me and grabbed me. Don't try to fight against us, you werewolves. One of them said. Both Leilani and Augustine. Do as they say, I'm alright, I said as the one holding me gripped his arm tighter around my neck, making me choke. I saw the anger in Augustine's eyes. They weren't normal at all as I was slipping into unconsciousness. I felt the grip of the Santos that was holding me disappear. I fell to the ground coughing. Before I blacked out, I heard, "It's one of them. Everyone run!" I heard from the Santos. Then I blacked out. Leilani's point of view. I saw Augustine's eyes change. This village that we lived in must have done something to him. It must have unlocked something that was buried deep inside him. He picked up Nazar and looked at me. Let's go to my cave, he said, and I had followed him. When we arrived, he laid Nazar down his bed inside. We'll get some rest. I'll guard the cave, so you guys will be safe, he said. I nodded and laid on the ground inside the cave. I fell asleep shortly after. Augustine's point of view. I sighed and made my eyes go normal again. There was a reason why the village had a secret. It was because of me. My family was descended from the very first werewolf tribe. People believed that we were dead, but in reality we were hiding. I sighed again. It's hard being in Deventa. I sat down at the front of my cave and kept watch. Okay, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Did not mean to go on pause there. But, Chapter 9, Augustine's point of view. It's been a few weeks since that thing happened, and everyone who is alive is living in the town close by. Except for me and Nazar. We've been staying in my cave together. Augustine, when were you going to tell me the truth about you? Nazar asked. About me being Deventa? I asked. Yes, he replied. I don't know, but I had to tell you at some point. I said, true, but I knew that they were still alive, and I know that they were also the first group of people to meet the Citas. Citas, these people were a group of demons that made the decision to help people instead of hurting them. They were also known as the Rainbow Demons. he said. Yes, we were. That's why I had the ability to change my eye colors. Before we met them, we couldn't do that, but after we did, we were able to change our eye color. I said, I don't know everything about the Ventos. Can you tell me more about them, babe? He asked. Yes, I can. I said, well, what do you want to know about us? I asked, what about your powers? I asked, well, you already know we can change our eye colors, but if we kill someone, they come back as a werewolf a month later. I said, oh. Then I have never used my powers. I have powers thanks to the first time I got attacked by Santos. He said, well, little baby is going to have one tough life. I said, sadly, I know. But that doesn't mean we can't protect them. He said, I love you, Nazar. I love you too. He replied and laid his head on my shoulder. Smiled and laid mine on his. Man, did I love him. Augustine, what happened to your family? You never talked about them. Zara said, looking up at me. I stood up and he did as well. That's a story I don't want to talk about. I said, but I told you about my family. I said, I just don't want to talk about them. Maybe you'll find out about them in the future. I said, he huffed. Alright, but you know I'll get it out of you. He said, I know. I replied, I'm going to go out and go hunting for a bit. Be good while I'm gone. And don't get hurt. I said, he nodded, I will be safe, babe. He said with a smile. I kissed his head, then turned into a wolf and ran off to go hunt. I don't know why my thing says in a weird way, but it says to go hunt. It just says it with D-H-G instead for some no reason. I need to fix that. But chapter 10. I will be stopping after this chapter. Zara's point of view continued from the last chapter. I stayed inside the cave and looked around. There was nothing that I would think would be from his family. He never talked about them, and I wanted to know why. Maybe someday I'll find out, but until then I wonder. He's so mysterious. I love it about him. I like mysterious guys. They're just so sexy, but I'm rambling and probably should shut up right now. I think I should take a nap. I laid down in his bed and fell asleep. This will be my first time writing from a Yuri perspective, so bear with me. Ilani's point of view. I honestly feel really bad right now. I mean, it's been a month since I lost my darling Lucinda. Dated her for almost 3 years. I was going to propose to her. I need to get my mind off the bad stuff. Maybe I should go out and meet new people instead of staying cooped up inside this house, I thought. I got up and got dressed. After that, I went out and met up with my friends Christian and Alan. I could still feel Lucinda's heat near me. Man, did she make me feel like I was complete if I lost her. Hey, Lay, there's something we should tell you about your deceased loved one. Alan said, what is it? I asked. She was cheating on you the whole time while you were going out. I saw her kissing other girls and boys. He said, I'm stunned by this. Tears came from my eyes and I ran. To where? Hell do I know. All I know is that I ran. After some time, I sat down and cried against the wall. Then someone came up to me. Hey, are you okay? They said. I looked up at them and they got down and hugged me. What's wrong, sweetie? She said. I told her what was wrong and she listened to me. Come with me. I can help you get over that. I have stuff that can help you feel better. I'm a baker, she said, holding her hand out to me. I got up and took her hand. Then we walked to her house. And I asked this little question, how do you guys think I did with writing from a girl's perspective? Because I don't usually do that all the time. It's usually boys. But I will read chapter